A community bands together to save a beloved Denver restaurant. Sounds like a feel-good story, right?
Well, not to the man behind Tom's Diner, and not to the countless viewers who just can't believe a decision over a business has been taken out of the business owner's hands. And Tom Messina's plight has clearly struck a nerve in our Colorado. He held back tears as he described the decades he has spent serving up breakfast and lunch and dinner. He loves his job, just not the grind anymore. Now he wants to sell the property to a developer and move on to the next chapter of his life.
Neighbors, however, aren't ready to let the restaurant go and have successfully lobbied to keep the building the way it is for now. And since our 360 report first aired, we've heard from so many of you baffled as to how a group not even large enough to fill one of the diner's booths could take control away from the owner.
Well, tonight, Denver 7's Jennifer Kovaleski is diving into the process and asking if it's time to make some changes.
I do not represent a real estate company or a major developer. This is my only asset.
This story is bigger than Tom and his diner. This is about old versus new Denver and what can and cannot be saved. Before we dive back into the viewpoints, let's talk about how we got here.
Landmark preservation has been around since 1967.
You heard her right. City Council created Denver's Landmark Preservation Commission more than 50 years ago, with the whole idea of designating and preserving our history. And get this, there are almost 7,000 historic buildings who call the Mile High City home. We're talking 4% of Denver. So what does it take to get landmark status? Well, it's easier than you might think. A property owner, head of community planning, city council, or at least 3 Denver residents can file for what's known as landmark designation. Going back to Tom's Diner fight, 5 residents are the ones trying to save it.
It needs to meet 2 criterion in the following 3 categories of history, architecture, and geography.
The Landmark Board found the diner met all 3.
There's a lot at stake.
I would ask that you take my property rights, my story, and my family's future into consideration of this application.
If it's not a diner anymore, what can it be that's still in line with our history along Colfax?
We've already heard from the owner who wants to sell and says his future is on the line. Those fighting to save the diner who say this is about preserving history, and a regular calling for balance. Tonight we're hearing even more perspectives from you, our viewers, just as fired up. Even a Hollywood producer reached out. Dwayne wrote, "Why not build the high-rise condo in the parking lot of the diner? The design of the new building can either include the diner on the first floor or be set back with a side entrance." Sounds like a pretty good idea, right? A win-win, so to speak. Well, we looked into it. And Tom tells us building around the diner is a heck of a lot more expensive. They also say the diner is falling apart and needs major renovations, all of which add to the cost. Also keep in mind the developer is only willing to pay Tom nearly $5 million if they can demolish the diner, putting up this 8-story apartment building. Justin gave us his take too. He wrote it's a dangerous precedent to set where outside parties have a say on what are otherwise private matters of citizens. What's next? I can't sell my house? This is madness. We reached out to City Council. They can't really say anything until this decision moves to Council next week. But we did learn that the city is looking to change the landmark designation process. A bill up next month would make it harder to file for historic status and give Council more oversight. Ann and Shannon, we will keep you posted on that. And the committee hearing, again, is August 6th. That's when they will hear it in committee of what to decide to do, send it to full council. Yeah. Lots of questions, lots of you reaching out about this.
So many emails.
So many emails about this. So we appreciate it and keep them coming.
Great. A lot of passion.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
Thank you, Jen, and thank you all for letting us know your thoughts. And keep it up. Keep letting us know how you feel. Are the rules on historic properties outdated? Is Tom being treated unfairly by the same people who want to preserve his diner? Well, please keep on emailing us your thoughts. 360 at thedenverchannel.com.